Do me a favor. Let's do fill that. Give me like 8 ounces of, or 10 ounces, 8 ounces. A little roller. Roller and a brush, but I think we got brushes there that we could use. Careful, it's wet. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. You know, it might be better the short one. Yeah. Here. What's up, Ralph? What's going on? Leo, what's up, man? I'm not sure when I'm hitting the water, dude. I think I'm gonna try maybe this Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know. The weather looks kind of shady, man. It's been really windy. So maybe Sunday, but for sure I'm going next week lobstering. So for sure, yeah. Next week it's mini season opens up, so we're gonna be going. Happy Friday, brother. Getting my boat ready for some offshore in the Gulf. Hell yeah, man. That's awesome. Richard, good luck, bro. Get that boat ready, man. The summer is about to be finished. But if you're in Florida, you know this summer doesn't end. So real quick, so what I got for you guys today, yeah, this is a big job. So for those of you that haven't been here on the other lives, basically I started the lives taking this whole transom off. I cut the cap on the first video. I think this is like the 5th or 6th installation. So I took the cap off, we gutted everything out, we took the stringers out, and then I redid the stringers with an 1.5 queso board. Let me show you. So I'll flip this around for you guys. Endless summer, baby, that's right. So this is what we got going on. We redid the stringers with an 1.5 queso composite board, which are already tabbed in with a layer of 1808, a layer of woven, and then a layer of 1708 on each stringer. And then we put in the knees also with woven and 1708. As you can see there, I built out this notch so the cap, and let me show you the cap real quick. So that notch in the cap will sit inside there, because this kind of fits like this. Ugh. I'll show you. Kind of sits like that in the boat, so that's going to be sitting in that little notch. So I made that today, and then what I did was I came in and did some fillets, because we're going to be using some woven and 1708 to be to kind of put that and tab it into the transom. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm cleaning this up. It looks a little dirty. That's what we got. So once that's done, I can put the cap back on, and I might even gel coat today. I might gel coat this area today. I'm not sure, because I still have to do some lamination and stuff. I don't want to get the new gel coat ready, dirty, I mean. So I got the fillets already going. So we're going to be tabbing that in, and then we're going to be doing like a test fit of the cap once everything's done. So I'll take you guys along for the ride today, and thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, man, this project's coming along pretty good. It's coming along pretty fast. It's going to be a tank. It's overbuilt. You can hang like a 400 off this thing if you wanted to. This is overkill. 1.5 transom. It's a lot. So we're gonna get going. I got all my materials. See if I could show you guys. That might be a little too much there. That's all right. So I got my MEK going. I'm using a simple boatyard resin. Simple boatyard resin for this job. I use low profile for pretty much everything else. And basically what I'm doing is just going tab by tab and wetting out the pieces out here and then putting them in. Thanks for all the repair videos. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you. You're very welcome. You know, I learned off of YouTube, and there wasn't a ton of information out there, but there was enough for me to learn, and I've been learning as I go. So I'm happy to share the information, and I'm learning every day. I don't know everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning every day. It's like every time I get out here, I learn something new. I learn little tricks of how to do stuff a little faster, a little easier, and I try to pass that info on to you guys. So basically what we have on the transom here is a 1708, and then we have a 1708 outside layer here on the stringers. So for you guys that don't know, the weave on the fiberglass is kind of like what gives it its strength, right? So the woven has like a 90-degree weave, and when you combine that with a 1708 that has a 45-degree weave, it makes it super strong because you cover all the angles and strength, right? So that's what I'm doing here. Just wetting this stuff out. I gotta work a little quick, so I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat as much as I can. I made a little notch in there. I'll show you what that's for in a second. I come in with this guy. A lot of times when you're working with fiberglass, I mean, double up on gloves and use your gloved hand to kind of like get everything smoothed out. That's a big help too. Helps with the that's a nice little layup there. I'll show you guys now. Huh? No. That looks good. Let me see. Man, you're awesome. I learned so much from your channel. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome, man. That makes me like, that's the best, dude. That makes me like so humble when I hear things like that. You know, that I can help people like you do stuff at home. That's just awesome, dude. Because you know you get to save a lot of money. You know what I mean? This stuff's expensive. A job like this is like $7 grand. You know, and if you could do it for 1,500 with some sweat equity, why not? You know, and get out in the water with your families and stuff. You know. Northern factories like Steiger, man, I would love to. The factory tours are a huge thing, in my opinion, because you kind of get to see what these factories are made of, man. And like, you know, like when I go to like LTB, for example, like those guys are awesome, man. They got nothing to hide. You know, they show you everything. You know, and that's what's cool. You know, every factory, every company has its own, they have their own little secrets and things, you know, but you learn a lot, and that's how I've gone learning so much too, because I go to these factories, and I've been to a lot of them, like Dusky, I've been to LTB, I've been to Blue Water, and I learn a bunch by going over there. Asking questions, learning how they do things. And it's funny because everybody has a different way of doing things, but they kind of all arrive at the same place, right? And their boats all ride pretty great. So, oh, I forgot to wet this one out. I think I might put this down here. This is a pain in the ass. There. All right. Let me get the and let's do less pop because that's a lot, and like half of that. I'll come in.
You don't think there's anymore?
Well, I am, but I need a. Let me get the brush. Yeah, the brush. I will get it later. I'm just eating dinner now. Post it after. Actually, post it. See if I can move up here. Just picked up a Ginu. I'll start with the three of my threes. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Do that stuff with your kids, man. Teach them, you know. And then you guys get to go out in the water and enjoy it together. My son's a little too young to be working with fiberglass and stuff, but once I get this done and I start doing like maybe electrical stuff, I'll have him help me, kind of make him, you know, it's like make him part of the build, you know. All right. You know what I'm also gonna do, Pop? I'm gonna do some tabs from the top. There. I have to do transom, replace seat, and then gel coat, and she's done. That's awesome, man. That's super cool. And for a small boat like that, you could do that for a couple $100. You know, what's a transom on a Ginu? You know, half-inch something, you know? Gel coat's $100 for a gallon, let's just say, on the high side. Some sanding disc, some putty. Probably do it for like $400. So what I'm doing here is just so I can show you what the layup is that I'm doing. It's basically a layer of 1708 and a layer of Roven, and that's plenty strong for plenty strong for this. A lot of these boats, like this one for example, had a layer of roving for one layer of roving for everything, you know. So tabbing for everywhere was one layer. I'm gonna put another layer on the top that holds the top part down. Guys, this stuff, the roving, it's a pain in the ass to get into the curves. So it likes a good fillet when you're using it. Hopefully this doesn't kick before. See, Transom. I live in Northeast Florida, hot and humid. To give the most working time, any high spec resin is going to work. If you want the best, vinyl ester resin gives you the most time, but you have to make sure that you're catalyzing at the right percentage. So that, or you can use like a GP layup. Or a low profile resin too, or isophthalic resin. But vinyl ester gives you the most time. The thing with vinyl ester resin, it's like double the cost, you know? It's like really expensive, and for something like a Ginu, you don't need that. I might have to come back and grind that out there. I don't like how that's sitting up there. On the sides, we're good. Got some of this guy. Yeah, we're gonna have to grind that. Let me know what. Let me cut that off. Get the scissors in part. Cut those guys off. I don't like how that's sitting there. I end up in Northeast in the season repair. It's most impossible it is, man. Yeah, it really is tough in the summer. I'm in Miami. It's hot as hell. Yeah, much better. I'll come back and grind that excess there. Much better. Much better. Sure, if the same is true of Florida, but up here in the Northeast, any in-season repair is almost impossible. Wait time is months. It's great being able to do some stuff on my own for sure. Yeah, you know, this stuff doesn't cure when it's too cold. I think it's anything under like 60 degrees, it doesn't really cure. So like you have to have some warm environment or stick like heat lamps and stuff if you're up in the north. Yeah, this already gelled, Pop, you see? So I don't know how long that's been, but maybe we got 10 minutes of work time with this stuff. This was Boatyard resin, kind of like the cheap stuff. But I made sure to catalyze it very low, and it worked out pretty well. So that's good. It'll last longer if you put it like in a pan and stuff like that, because it's spread out. But when you have it in a bucket like that, it gets hot quick. So that's some pretty good layups there. And Papa, just pour me like a little bit only. I only have one. Well, you know what? Yeah, a little bit only is fine. We still got the last stringer, and then I'm also gonna cut some pieces that'll come up on the top. Some 1708 I think is good. I'll cut those up in a second. Get some new gloves going. But yeah, once I'm done with this and this is all cured up, I'm gonna fit the cap on so you guys will see that, and I'll show you kind of like what I got going on. Let me get some gloves on in a second. Give me 1 second. I don't know if you guys can see that. So right here I gotta kind of shave that down a little bit. I made that notch there. And we still have this one over here to laminate. Let me show you this real quick. So you see I made that notch. Now I gotta shave that stuff off there. And that stuff you're seeing there is the putty from underneath. So that one came out pretty good. So you want a nice radius here. So see, it's already kicked off. It's a nice radius there, so that'll bend. Now I'm gonna do some layering here, just so we could get some of the top tabbing here. I couldn't bring these stringers any higher because the actual cap that sits in here doesn't allow it. So that's as high as I can get on the stringers, but these knees are pretty high. So let me get some gloves. My dad's over here helping me. Alrighty, get some gloves real quick. Could use a bubble buster, which I have a 6-inch one. It's a little bit too big for this, but if you're good with the roller, you can get most of the air bubbles out with this thing, no problem. And the excess resin, just squeeze out a little bit. That's good there.
Before half.
Yeah, half of what we did before. All right, double up. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I put up a poll yesterday about what color I should paint this boat. I think the first choice was Matterhorn white with seafoam green. Kind of like the whole sides would be seafoam green. The top side is Matterhorn white. Yeah. and the bottom would be Matterhorn white. No, I gotta mix it here first. And the next color was, I chose Matterhorn white for the top side with Fighting Lady yellow for the sides, and then Matterhorn white on the bottom, and the inside would have like Fighting Lady yellow accents. And then I'm sorry, Fighting Lady yellow, white top side, and then flag blue for the bottom. And then the last color I chose would be a Matterhorn white for the sides and the top side, and then a red stripe with a flag blue on the bottom. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I like the classic yellow with the flag blue on the bottom. I think that's a nice mix there, and kind of keep the classic look of these things. Do me a favor, look, cut out some strips of 1708. Look. Just 1.5 inches, and make them about 8 inches long. 1.5 inches wide. You see? Sorry, I meant wait time as in time to get a qualified shop. Oh, to book a problem. Yeah, I guess the shops up there are busy, which is, I guess, good for them. But I'll be honest, man. I think this type of work is kind of like a dying thing. Nobody's really doing this stuff, and then the people that are like, they suck. And then finding somebody that can do it in a timely manner. I hear horror stories down here in Miami of shops. Look, I had a buddy of mine that took his boat, a Seacraft 23, to get work on. That's good. Huh? No, that's too wide. 1.5 inches wide. And he took his boat over. It was there for like 3 months, and all they did was fill the stringers with foam and glued a layer of coring to the transom, and that was it. And they were supposed to do the whole boat. So I hear all types of stuff. It's bad out there. That's good. That's good. And then the other thing is that, nobody wants to do this work.
How many?
3. Like, can you imagine telling one of these kids today, 18, 19 years old, to get out here in the sun and the heat and work on fiberglass? They're not going to do it. You kidding? They're not going to do it. try to get an 18-year-old to do this stuff. You're kidding, man. Yeah, that ain't happening. It's crazy to see, like, generationally how each generation has wanted to work less and less. And I hope the newer generations are changing. This one. Almost done. That's a good layup there. I'll come in with the brush, kind of like hit it up a little bit. Guys, this little brush, just hitting the little brush works awesome for taking out bubbles and stuff. All right, now I got these strips that I'm gonna do. They're gonna go from the transom up here down over the stringers. Sweat those out. I'll do all of them at once. Grab the other one. Sit there. I'm gonna cut that off. Cut that out. Cut the little corners there. What motor am I gonna do? You guys will see. It's a little bit of a surprise. It's gonna be a 130. Let me get the scissors, Pop. It's gonna be 130 horsepower. Yeah, it's you guys will see when I mount it. I should be getting the engine in next week. It's gonna be something. Need them a little fatter, a little longer. Let's take these out. I'm gonna scrap these and I'm gonna do a little bit wider ones for these. This one's okay. Like, that's good. That's good. It's hot today. That's why I'm home all day. Yeah, it's hot. It's really hot today. Really, really hot today. Luckily, we're in the shade. To come and grind this one out. That one's no good. In the middle, cut 2 little notches. Just 2. Yeah. Let's get this guy in here. It's not white enough. Whiter than that. That's not going to work either. That's one of the things with working with this stuff. It's trial and error, right? Meanwhile, I'm going to grind this thing out real quick so I can get a layer of glass in there. Yamaha with 130 or a Honda BF. You'll see. Come on. Get a little bit of putty going there too. I gotta fill up some of those gaps and stuff there. What up, Joel? What's going on, man? I'm gonna use some of the putty. Kind of fill up these gaps here. Less and look, Pop. Give me a scoop of putty, just a little bit.
Where you put it?
I left it over there. gonna fill that using some structural putty. This stuff surprisingly forms pretty well and it could do fillets really well too. Kind of like it's resin with little hairs. See that? That'll help a lot. Filling that up, so that's done there. And now we could come in and actually fill this with wet on wet. Let's get this out of here. This one out of here too. Alrighty. I need some resin. Let's get these guys cut up. Oh, where'd you put the scissor? All right. There's one. You guys are in Florida. Let me know if you guys are going out for lobster season. Are you doing this for a living or just YouTube? This one's for me. This boat is for me. But I do work for people. So yeah, like I got a guy that hit me up today for a Mako, a 26 Mako. He wants me to do the transom for him. So, you know, if he decides to come this way, great. You guys will see it on the channel. So we'll see. But this boat here, this one's for me. Cause I got my flats boat. I got my little zebra skiff. But I'll be honest, that boat it's a lot of fun, but it's very dangerous. And you know, I have my son, and there's no freeboard on that thing, so it can get scary. But this is a much more seaworthy boat. Probably rides a lot better, and it's much safer, for sure. Yeah, it's lobster season. It crept up on me too. I usually go. I don't like going out for mini season. I'll be honest with you. It's too crazy, man. These people out here, they kill themselves for lobster. It's not that serious, man. I go out to have fun with my buddies and stuff, and you know, I enjoy catching lobster and all that. Yeah, sure, it's fun, but I'm not gonna kill myself over lobster, dude. You know, it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. Every year down here, a few people die every mini season. Always. There's never been a year where somebody hasn't. Somebody always drowns or somebody always gets run over. Alright. Alright, I think we're set. Just got a couple bubbles here. Alright. Alright, let me show you guys what we got. I'll use it with caution with the zebra. Oh, for sure. For sure, for sure. Alright. Let's show you what I got. So we got a layer of Roven and 1708. We got a layer of 1708 going up this way. Same thing here, same thing here. And then we got the layers of 1808, 1708, and Roven here. So, and then we got the knees with the same thing, 1708 and the Roven. I mean, this thing is gonna be a tank. Well, it's already a tank, but it's really, really strong. Still a couple little bubbles here I gotta get out. That's all right. My bubble buster doesn't really fit in here. It's a little bit too big, but that's all right there. And then we're gonna fit this guy on there because I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna run the drains for the deck. So as you can see, you have drains here, right? And this is the whole stringer. The stringers are out. Now I'm raising the deck here an inch, so I'm gonna actually put Nitacore, an inch of Nitacore up in here. So the deck is gonna sit an inch higher than before, which is great because it's a little bit safer that way, I think, in my opinion. Like, not safer, but it's just I don't have to like tap into here. I could just lay the Nitacore on here. It's a little bit easier for the laminating. The problem is that the deck drains, there's no way to get to them. I can't get to them through here. There's no way to get to them through here. And once I put the floor down, there's no way for me to put the plumbing. So I'm gonna have to put the deck drains, maybe 2 of them here, and they're gonna the actual pipes or the hoses are gonna have to run this way along the back, along the stringers, right? And remember that V spot here, this spot here is this. So I'll have it drain into here, so it'll be a self-bailing deck. See what I mean? So I gotta figure that out. I gotta figure that part out. You know what? Let's test fit it real quick. Let's let this kick off a little bit before I start messing with it, because I don't want it to touch. So put this back up. Repairing a transom is not for the faint of heart. You're absolutely right. This is probably it's a crappy job. It's a crappy job. But once you create a system and you do it enough, you kind of like know how to do it faster and easier, you know? 79th Street bull ramp is my local bull ramp. Yeah, that's a wild bull ramp, man. That bull ramp is always on fire. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the bull ramp because you got a lot of the jet skiers there, man. Those guys are like, they're always just nasty, dude. Most of those dudes are just, I don't know, man, just real ghetto and stuff. don't have anything against jet skis, but usually the jet skis down here are always causing problems. I don't know if where you're at they do the same, but they're always causing problems. Let's pop some of these bubbles. But that's basically it for the stringers, man. So it's basically done. Now I got a choice of working on the cap or leaving the cap for last, or work the cap, fair it, get it all back together, and then be done with this part, then move on to the deck. So I'm not too sure what to do, Then some will say boat ramp. Alfred's in the chat. Alfred heard boat ramp and he's here figuring it out. I need to record a cooler lid, repair a few chips on the gel coat, polish and wax. You do that? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, let me show you something real quick. So you see this? This is like a cooler lid. This actually goes right here. So that covers there. See that? So this little lid is just like a hatch lid where it has a coring material. See? And it's cracked. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's cracked and there's nothing in it. It's all rotted, right? So I actually have a video where I did the fuel tank hatch and I replaced it with wood on my Grady White. But it's all the same concept, You can use some foam unless you're going to be drilling into it. You want to maybe use like a K-cell board or a Kusa board type thing. But you can use PVC board. You can use PU foam, because really the strength that you're getting from is from the fiberglass. It's not really from the coring material so much. And something like a hatch cover or cooler cover or something like that, you don't need to do so much. You just need to get some type of coring material to give it some strength. And like 1/2 inch or something like that, and your good PVC board works just fine for that. And it's cheap. So yeah, you can do that. And this is just like a hatch lid. Same thing. You would cut all this out, grind everything down to fresh glass, put a fresh layer of matte, stick down your coring material, give it like a nice edge where you can lay matte over it. Do a layer of matte, do a layer of 1708, maybe do another layer of 1708, and then you just gel coat everything and you're done. Really easy. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. So, Bob, let's get the thing and fit it in there. What do you think?
What?
Huh? It's already kicking. It's really hot. I don't think it's going anywhere. I'll give it a few more minutes, maybe. Oh, not gonna lie, I went on a yacht. I passed through the sandbar. The grandpa boat. Where's the grandpa boat? I've been asking Alfred where the grandpa boat is at. And listen, I think we got something coming up with the grandpa boat. I think you guys will like. I don't want to speak for Alfred, but we got something coming. We got something cooking. We got something cooking. Well, how many hours do you think we worked on this thing on the Transom? 15 hours? 16 hours? Around 16 hours? Yeah, so up until now, wait for it. Up until now, we got about 16 hours, 17 hours into this Transom. And that's building out the stringers as well. But as far as the Transom goes, probably less hours. So if this is a project that you want to do at home, you can really do it in a couple weekends. If you really hustle Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you could do it in like 2 weekends. And you save yourself a ton of cash. Your typical boat, you're using, you're maybe spending $1,500 for doing a Transom. And because a job like this is going to cost you $6,000 if you pay somebody to do it. What Miami area are you located? I'm right near Tropical Park. So if you know where that is, Tropical Park. Yeah, I'm right by Tropical Park. So typical Miami. All right, I'm gonna fit in the cap so you guys kind of see what it is that we're working with. This stuff is cured in here, it's ready to go. Realistically, the bilge is ready for gel coat if I wanted a gel coat. Yeah, right. Well, I'm on the Miller side, not on the Bird Road side. So, Hialeah. Yeah, I actually was born in Hialeah Hospital. I was raised in Hialeah till about 12 years old. And now I'm in La Sahuesera, what we call it. So yeah, so the transom is basically ready for some gel coat if I want it. I'm not gonna work on, I'm not gonna do gel coat. My office is right off 75th Avenue. Oh, that's right here. Palmetto Carpentry. Oh, I know where that is. That's right here in the warehouses. Yeah, you're right there. Real close. Real close back there. Let's get the cap up so we can try this out. I'll be right back. All right, so this is the cap. I still gotta do some like sanding and stuff. You see that? I still gotta do some adjusting. Let's get this out of here so it doesn't spill and cause a problem. But I'll show you guys real quick what I got going on. He ate already, he's good. Yeah, give me a second, I'll put this thing in. Alright, so basically, not far from me, how can I get in touch with you? You can write me an email or you can call me 786-853-0694. Shoot me a text. 786-853-0694. So check this out. So basically what we do now is we come in, kind of line everything up kind of evenly. See that? And want to fill or clamp all this down, right? And then we'll glue it together. And then once it's glued together with putty, we'll come in and grind out kind of like a divot in there. And we'll start laminating pieces of glass underneath also, as far up as we can. So you'll get both sides full of laminate. And it'll be all one piece. Then we fair it, right? And then all this stuff we have to fill with glass and some pouring material in here because all this was cut out. Somebody did something on this transom where they kind of glassed everything together. So I had to cut out this piece because that's just how it is. And then for here, basically fill this up with a little bit of glass and kind of fair it in with this. So it is a little bit of a job. But this is what I was telling you guys before with the drains. I wanted to drain kind of right into here where those hoses will go there. And that way the water from the deck will come in here and it'll exit through a little ping pong ball right there. And now I got a self-bathing deck. So that's pretty much it. Nice and easy. Well, not easy, but so far so good. So far it's been pretty easy. Yeah. Far from me, how can I get in touch? Oh, you got my phone number there. Yeah, dude, I'm local. I'm here. I'm here. And I guess you would call us. I don't think you call it Kendall, but or Westchester.
Oh, this is Kendall.
Is Kendall? Yeah, it's like Kendall, Westchester. So I'm close. How many cans of 1708 do I have? It's not really cans. I think I used so far maybe 12 yards of 1708, 1808, 1708, and some roving. I would say I've used like 12 yards so far for the transom. And for the stringers, a couple more yards, like 4 or 5 yards. So there's that. And look, this is the exact cap that I was telling you fits on here. And this was what the boat would look like. And the reason why I kept this boat is because of this back rear deck. It's got the storage, it's got a ton of storage, which you kind of need on a small boat, and it's safe. You got the splash wall, you don't have an open transom, so if water does get in here, it'll come to the back, you know, and it's not going to swamp the whole boat. Where do I buy my 1708? So I work with FGCI. They kind of sponsor me for a lot of my projects, like this one. But my 1708, I get it from there, and I also get it from a Capitan because they buy from FGCI. Huh? Yeah. So I get a lot of stuff when I don't drive up to Fort Lauderdale to FGCI. I go to Capitan. But if you guys are looking to get stuff at FGCI, use my code PFP10 and get a discount on your purchase, so you save some money. I don't get any kickbacks from that. It's just a discount code they gave for me to give to you guys. So if you're doing a project like this, you spend $1,500, you save yourself like $150 on the product. So it's not too bad, you know. I'm trying to work out a deal with them to try to give you guys a little bit more of a discount, because this stuff is expensive, you know. So all right, let's take all this stuff off. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna fill all this, and probably gonna have to put some coring material. I'll probably have to cut a little bit of the transom down and put another piece of coring material to level it out. But I think I could probably finish this back part in a matter of maybe like 2 or 3 days, full days of work. My dad lives near Dalton Marine Supply in Naranja, as far down there. PFP10 is the coupon code. Thanks, Alfred. Let's take this out. And I don't know if you guys can see, but on the back of this, they had this full of putty. See all that? So all this stuff I have to shave down. I have to like grind all this crap down, cover the holes and stuff. And you see this here? This is coring material. This is all wood. See that? It's all wood that's rotted, so I got to put a new piece of coring material here. I don't know what the hell they did here with this putty and whatever this is for the cleats, but I got to recore that. Shouldn't be that hard to do, but it's just work, you know. So, and we're gonna get rid of these cleats and put some pop-up cleats. Alfred, if you're still there, man, are you on the way? I think Alfred was supposed to show up. I don't know if he's coming or not, but. And I really want to shoot some gel coat on here, but that's all right. That's all good. All right, guys, we've been on for, let's see, about an hour or so. Not gonna be able to make it. That's all right. You're far from a Capitan? Yeah, but I'm also very far from FGCI. Coral Way 137. That's Braddock area. Yeah, far from a Capitan. I'm really from here. I'm maybe 12 minutes from a Capitan. If I go down US 1, there's no traffic. But it's an hour to go all the way up to FGCI. So they got everything here. Remember, Capitan's on US 1 and 148, or you could go to the one on the river on 37th Avenue. So I work with both of them, FGCI and them. Well, that's the one on 27th Avenue. Yeah, there's one on US 1 and 148. So there's two Capitans. So all right, guys, I'm gonna end this video today. I'm gonna try to get this video out for the stringers probably up this week, or I might come in and bed the rest of the stringers and then call that a video. So I'll see you guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. How much would you sell that boat behind you? How much would you sell that boat behind you as is? Which one? This one? You don't want that boat, bro. You don't want that thing. All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. I'll see you guys. Whatever you need, hit me up. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a text. Follow me on Instagram. Perfect_fit_boating. And shoot me a message there if you want to chat or whatever, or you need help or whatever. All right. See you guys.